All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are talking about NVIDIA and their absolutely mind-blowing prediction for a $500 billion future. We're going to break down what's behind this huge number and what it might mean for the AI revolution and, of course, for your investments.
So, let's just start with this number right here, $500 billion. Now, just to be crystal clear, that's not their valuation. No, that's a revenue projection. A number so big it basically sent a tremor through the financial world and has everybody asking the same question. Is that even possible?
And yep, here's where it comes from. A direct quote from the man himself, NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang. This isn't just some casual optimistic guess. This is a flat-out declaration. And if he's even close to being right, we're talking about a potential $140 billion revenue upside just from their data center business alone. That would completely rewrite the rulebook for this company's growth.
Okay, so you gotta be asking, what in the world is behind a forecast this massive? Well, the short answer is, NVIDIA is not just a chip company anymore, not by a long shot. They are fundamentally changing their game, positioning themselves to be the very backbone of the entire AI industry.
And this right here, this is the core of that strategy. They call them AI factories. Think about it like this. Old school data centers, they were like giant libraries, great for storing information. But these new AI factories, they're built to produce intelligence. They're actually creating new things from all that data, and you guessed it, NVIDIA's tech is the engine making it all hum.
And this just goes to show they are playing a much, much bigger game than just selling silicon. We're talking about a whole ecosystem here. They're in deep with the US government, building new supercomputers, they're mixing quantum computing with their GPUs, they're partnering with Nokia on the future of 6G, and look at these industrial partners, Uber, Disney, Foxconn, Caterpillar. This is a full-on, top-to-bottom domination play.
Which, of course, brings us to the multi-trillion-dollar question. I mean, with a market cap soaring towards $5 trillion, you have to ask, is this thing just completely overvalued? Is the hype train going off the rails?
Okay, so this is really important. You have to look at this in context, right? Yeah, NVIDIA's valuation is in the same stratosphere as Apple and Microsoft. But, and this is a huge but, they are playing in totally different leagues when it comes to growth. Apple and Microsoft, they're in mature markets. Their growth is more, steady, predictable. NVIDIA, on the other hand, is at the very heart of a brand new technological explosion, AI. The real growth might just be getting started.
And that is really the key takeaway from this whole section. The argument is that we are at inning 1 of this massive AI shift, not inning 9. NVIDIA isn't just trying to ride the wave, they're trying to be the wave. So, with that in mind, how in the world is an investor supposed to approach this? All right, let's get practical. That brings us to the how. Given this absolutely explosive situation, the source material actually lays out a few different ways investors might think about this. So the source basically breaks it down into two main camps. On one side, you have the short-term momentum play. This is for the traders, right? They're using technical charts, things like RSI and MACD, to try and time the market, get in, get out, and ride the volatility. Then on the other side, you've got the long-term conviction hold. This is for the buy and hold investor, who really believes in the big picture. They're buying the dips, and they're focused on the fundamentals, like that data center revenue and those major partnerships we just talked about. But hey, there's a third option here, which is to not put all your eggs in one NVIDIA basket. You can broaden your exposure, you can look at the companies that are part of their supply chain, the ones that make NVIDIA's success possible. We're talking about giants like TSMC, Broadcom, and Marvell. Or if you want to go even broader, you could look at semiconductor ETFs. That's just a basket of stocks, like SOXX or SMH. That way, you're betting on the whole industry, not just one company. Okay, but before we get carried away, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. A stock that shoots up this fast, well, it can be incredibly volatile. And managing that risk is, and I mean this, absolutely crucial. So the source is super clear on this. You need a plan for managing risk. First things first, just know this stock is volatile. You can look at things like inverse ETFs or protective puts to hedge your bets. Second, and this is a big one, try to avoid chasing the stock. Don't just jump in at an all-time high without a solid plan. And finally, if you've made some money, have a strategy to protect those gains. Something like a trailing stop can be a great tool. It helps you lock in profits automatically if things start to head south. And really, it all comes down to this one question, doesn't it? NVIDIA is without a doubt building the blueprint for our AI future.
The challenge for you, as an investor, is to figure out if you're buying that revolutionary blueprint or if you're just buying into the hype. And that's the billion, or maybe trillion-dollar question you have to answer for yourself.